Well, good evening. God bless everyone on another great day that God have made, giving us the privilege, the responsibility to rejoice and to be glad in it. I'm Dr. Milton Seawood, Senior Pastor of Bethel Deliverance Tabernacle International, and we're thrilled and excited about another opportunity to bring another episode of Reliable Sources. And so, again, we thank God for you taking time out of your day, chiming in to be able to get smarter with us with the information that you guys are going to give us and what we're going to give you all. So, it's an exciting time for us. We often call this a Magnificent Monday, even though it's Reliable Sources to you that are watching it live. To some of you may catch it on another day of the week, but we call it Magnificent Monday because we had such a magnificent Sunday. And I mean, I am so serious. That's what happened to us in church on yesterday in our Ypsilanti location and our Detroit location. I'm telling you, the Lord came through and just tremendously blessed us. And so I want to pause just for a minute to give all of you an opportunity, or let me say, a personal invitation. Come out and worship with us. All of our church service information location, you can Google our name and all of our information would pop up. We have a fantastic accredited Bible college, and just all of our information will pop up. So you have a personal invitation from me, come on out and be blessed by the Lord. So anyway, we're excited. Again, another opportunity to be able to share with you as well as get information from you about going forward as we're embarking upon a new year. So again, we're thrilled and excited about it. And we appreciate everybody that's on. The rest of you, come on in, come on in. We know you hear us, and we're encouraging you to come on in and help us get smarter and help us go into the new year, close out the old year, beginning now, and go into the new year with high expectations and hope, and leaving everything on this side that needs to be left on this side. So hit that share button. We thank God for you as you come in sharing and come in. Let's get smarter, and bring all of your great anointed intelligence with you. As we're going to talk a little bit about Christmas, but a whole lot about you and me. What can we do to make our lives better? What can we do to represent Jesus better? What can we do to represent our family better? And what can I do to represent myself better? So thank y'all for chiming in. We appreciate you immensely. Again, hit that share button as you come in. Hit the share button, and we're going to get ready to dive right into our lesson on tonight. Again, we're super excited about an opportunity to be better, an opportunity to change. And listen, I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about in some upcoming programs how to go from good to better and from better to great. And we got scripture to back that up. How is the purpose and the plan and the will of God for us to end up on Great Boulevard. Now, you got to remember this. Greatness in God's eyes or in your eyes may not be greatness to someone else. Good in your eyes may not be good in someone else's eyes. Better in your eyes may not be better in someone else's eyes. But this, I found out this to be so vitally important, and we're going to press forward after we get greeted by Terrence. We're going to press forward. But I found out this is so important, y'all. This is a simple truth and a simple key to you having a successful life. And again, the Bible talks about us being successful. It's all right. We all glean from one another. I glean from some of you all. I'm looking at Minister Rick on the line tonight. I gleaned from him. He has a great perspective on some things, and I pour from him. But here's the point I'm making: things that work for everybody may not work for you. So you got to know you enough to know. And I'm not just talking about being fearful or spiritual or mentally lazy to where you don't want to try something different. But you got to know you enough to know what won't work, what will work. Because see, if you don't really know you enough, what you say won't work might work. If you don't know you good enough, what you say will work might not work. So you got to know you enough to know what will work, what won't work, and what have the possibility to work. And then you'll know how to juggle the three of them. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I ain't getting up at no 4 o'clock in the morning for nobody. But what I got, there may be a day that I may have to get up that early, but I'm not going to be doing that every morning, because my life does not press me to do that. So that may work for someone else. They may have to. I don't have to do that. And things of that nature, the way that you save, the way that you spend, the way that you work out, all of those things, you have to know what fits you. And you can always glean. I glean from a lot of people, but everything that some people does, it does not fit me, does not work for me. But we may even dive into that a little more today, because that's really important where we're going with the program today and where we're going in life and where we're going in God. It's very important that you know that. T, my main man, what's going on, dude?
Well, sir, I am happy to be here. Thank y'all for joining us today as well. We're going to have a good time with today's topic. Again, if y'all have any prayer requests for Thursday, please I'll send to our church website. I will put the link in the comments so that way y'all can go there and check it out. And other than that, I'm ready to go, sir.
Let's go. I'm ready too. I know they're ready and I'm ready. So let's get started. We're going to pick back up talking about confidence, but right before we dive into that, I think, again, it's a great opportunity for us, and we've been saying it for years and all month, all week, that Jesus is the reason for the season. And I think anytime opportunity availeth itself, we need to take advantage of it. When a door opens, we need to step in it for us to be able to share the real reason for the season, which we know is honoring and celebrating Jesus' birthday. We talked about it and been talking about it, how that I only have one birthday legally, but I've been ascribed 2 birthdays. So we're not, but whichever one you choose or don't choose, the fact that I'm talking to you now means I was born. We went down that road. It's the same way, in a greater way, with Jesus Christ. You don't have to know exactly when he was born. All you need to know is that he was born or is born, and unto us a Savior is born. So I would like to take this opportunity to make sure that we number one, get a tighter grip on the Lord. Do something for Jesus' birthday. I mean, that's what I feel you should do. I mean, extra prayer, extra scripture reading, give him an offering, all of the above. Do something to celebrate, to give yourself, sort of, like an encouragement, a kickoff, to say this is something I'm going to do during this season to prove to myself that I'm not going to lose Jesus and all the commercialism of it. Right, Tia, there's something you wanted to add to that? We just want to make sure that this is what we're doing. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's good. Yeah, like you said, just wishing Jesus a Merry Christmas. Because the one thing about
Happy birthday.
What I say?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jesus.
Yeah, that really sounds good. Merry Christmas, Jesus.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
But yeah, it's always good to do that. Let God know that how thankful we are for not just for being here, but allowing us to to live out our lives and do our day-to-day challenges, our things that we love to do as well. So I think that's also really good that we.
Yeah, and we should do it every morning. We should offer a prayer of thanksgiving or a simple good morning, happy birthday. You know, we do it for each other. You know, we wish each other happy birthday. Be good when you wake up just as an acknowledgement to the Lord Jesus, just to tell him happy birthday, Jesus. With that said and done, if anybody want to add to that before we move forward, we want to really dive into confidence or trusting in God. And so I'm going to throw a couple things at you, and you can respond to all of them or any of them as you feel. Um, you know, we've been asking you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on certain topics. So I want to know, how do you feel about yourself as an individual overall? Overall.
So how do you rate yourself as an individual?
No, I mean everything. From your weight, your hygiene, your confidence, financially, relationship wise, money or your finances. If you're working your job, if you're retired, how you're enjoying retirement. Are you considering retirement? How do you feel about yourself? See, and again, we got to be honest with ourselves. I love a statement that, and some of y'all been saying it, and I have too, that Bishop Palmer made, Evelyn Palmer from Niagara Falls, New York. When she was here, she made a comment, say, I'm not perfect, but I'm perfectly saved. And so you can be perfectly saved, know that you're going to heaven, but knowing that you got other areas that you need to work on. And so as a whole, and you don't have to tell us what those areas are, but just tell us how do you rate yourself overall. If you want to share some of it, you can. Like as a whole, and I'll kick it off. I think I'm content. Or how do I feel about myself? I'm content. I would say I'm like an 8. I'm an 8. I'm so close, but sometimes you can be so close and yet you seem so far away. I was watching a special, and you people that enjoy or follow basketball, especially back in the 80s, you understand what I'm about to say. Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Cougars, they had a great basketball team, and they had one guy on their team, and I'm trying to call Anthony Andis, and this one guy, everybody thought he was going to the pros, me included. And they were in the championship game, and he went to steal the ball, and he's put one finger on it. He was inches away from stealing it. And by him missing it, the other guy took a shot and missed it, but they were down a man because he was in the back. And one of the opposite teams got the ball and laid it in, and he never recovered from it. And the thing is, that he was like a fingertip away from being a champion and changing his whole life. It messed him up till he went in. He really became almost like a hermit. His family didn't even know where he was. His teammates for years. And this was from like 1984 until like about 2016. So all that time, no one knew where he was at that they knew of anyway. And they recently found him. And he was in Flint, Michigan, from Houston, in Flint, Michigan, working at like a restaurant, some type of bar restaurant. But my point of emphasis is he was that close from being a champion, and he never could recover from not being a college champion. And it messed up not only the rest of his college career, but it messed up his attitude towards going towards the pro. So I'm saying all that to say this, to him from a negative standpoint, inches away, and his life spiraled after that, going downward. And so we've had experiences in life, and I'm talking about pretty much all of us, where we were so close to obtaining something we had been believing God for, praying for, hoping to get, And I know I especially from a business standpoint, and it just and missed it, and it devastated me. It devastated me. So, and it was going to be a tremendous blessing to the church, to my family, and it spiraled down. And for one moment, I would like air my frustration out, and Pastor was like, "Let's not talk about that right now because it was an effect on all of us. Some people they still haven't recovered from it, and the people that was working with me, I don't think they blamed me. They just saw the same potential that I saw, and it didn't work. So I want so anyway, tell me, how do you feel about yourself overall? And when I say overall, again, I'm talking about relationship, finances, weight, appearance, everything. And see, then again, my last point, and I'm waiting on y'all to come to me. The last point is because if you can honestly judge yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, the next thing you can do is say, okay, I'm short in finances, or I don't build good relationships and keep them. I'm not good, I'm not good with finances. I'm not, I don't make enough, whatever the case may be. And then that way you can see how to attack the areas you are short in. I can definitely tell you this, and I know folk don't really like to hear this or adhere to it. I'm telling you, the best way to get out of what you is to give in financially, is to give to God. That I know. And I very seldom say this, but if you give, I'm saying sometimes give your last, you'd be amazed at how God would honor that. Remember the story in the Bible about the little woman that had 1 penny? And everybody else had more of an abundance than she did. Jesus acknowledged her because she gave all that she had. And people don't really know the blessing there is in giving. So God is challenging us, especially as Christians. That should be part of our character, is to give our way out of debt and things of that magnitude. But anyway, so come on in, y'all. Tell me where you are on a scale from 1 to 10. Let me know where you are, and we're gonna see about finding some solutions to the problem. Because again, now we're going into a new year. We're 8 days away, I think, or 9 days away from going into a new year. You don't want to keep making the same old resolutions. You want to get you some solutions today and start working on yourself right now for going forward. So we're waiting to hear from you. T, do you want to comment or you want to read some comments?
I'm gonna read these comments first, okay. And I want to add what you were saying about earlier about the guy who lost the college championship.
Yeah.
But Minister Rick says 6.5. The more I learn, the more I see I need to learn.
Yeah, very good observation. Very good observation. I appreciate that, and I like that. All right, what else we got?
Trinity also said 7.5 overall. I have improved a little, but I know I can improve on more.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Thank you. That's good. See, again, and again, I don't like assumption, but I'm assuming that you and Minister Rick, as well as myself, know what areas that we need to pick it up. What was Rick, like a 6.5?
He said 6.5.
Trinity was 7.5, and I said an 8. And so we know what areas we need to pick up in to turn my 8 into a 10.
Right.
Because that's the goal. That's where you want to be able to objectively and honestly eventually say, I made it. This is where I want to be. And then when you get there, you stay there. So my point of emphasis is we should know what areas we need to pick up in, and we may dive into that too. I may personally ask all of us, how do we feel about relationships, or whatever the case may be. All right.
So like you said when the what's his name?
Andy's from
Andy's.
Yeah, from the Houston.
Okay,
Cougars.
So like you, I do watch a lot of sports as well, and I think about what happened to Cam Newton when he lost his playoff.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
because when they interviewed him, and he was just quiet, and he just walked off. See, I think also God will also challenge us. Like he would give us so much just to say, like, just to take away, just to see, like, okay, you didn't make it, but I want to make sure you make it the next time, and see how you handle this pressure. How can you handle it? Because again, that shows not only shows that's a mark of a champion, they also show God that okay, I'm ready for you to reach this level of plateau in your life. Because sometimes, like, he wants to give, like you said it so many different times. I want to say that Marcus said it yesterday. He wants to give us stuff, but we don't put our full trust in him. The God, like God, got all this abundance, all this reward that He had for us, but He wanted to see how He can handle with the little stuff. Yeah. Or when you get close to that, just a finger pop away, reach that. Because let's say like He wants to see how you do after you fail. That's also part of life and life challenges. Because again, we want to win everything, but sometimes we can't get it, and that show then when we don't get what we want, we can go back. I say, all right, you know what? Let's try to do it again. Let's try to tackle a whole different way and see where we go.
Instead of sulking and giving up and throwing in the towel. God bless you, Bishop Todd. Always good to see and hear from you. Instead of throwing in the towel. And this is what really get me about us. A lot of times we're not consistent enough. Right. We don't stick to it until we get it. Marcus had a great message on yesterday talking about the determination of Elisha and how that Elijah told him, if you see me when I'm taking, and Marcus brought it out good. He didn't tell him how he was going. He didn't tell him what all he was going to have to go through. All he told him was, you have to keep your eyes on me. Which means you're gonna, and he brought out another good point talking about Joseph. God showed him what all he was going to accomplish, but He didn't show him what all he's going to go through. And I think that's what throws a lot of us sometimes is the process. Right. We want to receive the blessings and the accolades, but we forget that the Scripture tells us all them that live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. Yes, we don't. And if I'm suffering persecution, that's part of the process. And so I love the way he brought out chariots of fire, horses of fire, the whirlwind, which is typical of a tornado, a bad tornado at that. And it came in, and the Bible says it separated him. Right. But he kept his eyes on the prize. So when storms and things of that nature come against us, we got to learn how to stay focused. And think about this, dear hearts. Elijah told him, if you see me, and when he was taken up into heaven, and like Marcus said, it wasn't some mild, gradual thing, like in the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 8, after Jesus told him to go back to Jerusalem, he mildly went up. And the Bible said, the angel said, while gazing at me, they saw him mildly going up. Why are you men of Galilee, while you're gazing up in the heaven? So, but here's the point. The Bible said when Elijah was taken up, it said Elisha saw it. The key was to see it. So we as God's people, from a spiritual standpoint, you got to have a view of heaven, making it to heaven. And then from a natural standpoint, pertaining to your dreams and your goals, your ambitions, aspirations, inspiration, whatever you want to call it, you got to have locked in your mind that I'm going to be successful in whatever this is that I'm doing. And then, the Bible talks about wisdom being the principal thing, but out all thy getting, it say get it, but out all thy getting, get it understanding. You got to understand it's not going to always be a smooth ride. Right. And so we have to prepare ourselves for the turbulence. And we do that through prayer, through trusting in God, and then learning from failures. Not to be a repeat offender, not to keep doing the same things over and over again. And so I'm really doing a good part, putting forth a good effort from my standpoint, and I'm going to do better. And just marking the areas where I failed at and use those as moments of teaching or teachable moments so we can move forward. All right. I'd love to hear from some of the others to tell us how do you feel about yourself overall from a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you on the Richter scale of your life? where are you at? And and again, you don't have to tell the areas of your improvement, but you know where you need to improve at. Listen, also, this is very important too, that our attitude got to be right.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have the right attitude, and you got to know what can flip you, what can anger you, what are your trigger points, and then I'm talking about for anger now. I'm talking about for anger, for things where they make you sit back, things that make you yap too much. You gotta know what these trigger points are, and you gotta know what they are, and then you're gonna have to get delivered from them. Because notice I say yap too much. Attitude. Years ago, when people used to leave our church, I had a reputation that they would send a letter, and they finally got the message. Don't send him no letter because he don't read letters. And I didn't, because what am I reading a letter for? I mean, at least you can tell me face to face. But if you leave and send a letter, and I just don't open it, and I didn't read it. People don't do that anymore anyway. And my reason for not doing that was nothing you could say in the letter to encourage me, because you could have said it face to face. And then you don't even know if I got the letter. And this is the main point I want to bring out, because I was silent. I didn't respond. Silence is a virtue. Silence is a powerful tool. But some of us are so busy wanting to express. Well, I can't sit on this. I gotta let them know. Not all the time. They're obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. There are times when you do need to express yourself, but not all the time.
Right.
So these are things. Somebody told me, say, well, what if a check was in the letter? And I said, ooh.
Yeah.
I said, oh well, I'll just miss it. So anyway, that's where we are on that. So again, how do you feel about your job, your lack of job, your retirement, you're working? How do you feel about it? There are a lot of people that retire and then they regret it. They want to go back to work, and a lot of them do go back to work. But again, that's saying that I'm not satisfied with the status of my financial situation, so I'm going back to work. So and then some people need to retire and won't retire because they're scared of the unknown. What is my life going to be like?
Yeah, that's another
if I got this weekly or bi-weekly check coming, and what am I going to do without that? I don't know if I can live off a monthly check and all of those type of things. But anyway, that brings me to this point. We're going to talk about this after we read some more of your comments. You really need some goals or a goal. You really you need to give yourself something to shoot for. That is something that you have to do. If you don't give yourself a goal or goals, you don't have nothing. You have no direction. And if you don't know where you're going in God and in life, there's a road that'll take you there, to where you don't know where you're going. Any road will take you there. But, you gotta, like for instance, just say, if I'm going to be, just say a basketball coach or a doctor, we use a doctor. If I'm going to be a doctor, I can't go to school to be a lawyer. I got to get on the road, the doctor's road. I got to do all of the appropriate things, going to medical school and surrounding myself with medical information that's going to help me be smarter. I don't need me trying to be an attorney. I'm not going to be an attorney. And you got folk that say that God called them to preach, but they on the road to just being a farmer or something.
I'm so worried.
Because you don't have no goal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so worried of putting God's name on something, on anything, rather, because you can say that, and then it's not God. It's just you that wants to do that. Like some people like, well, God told me so I can do this. Okay. Now, I guess like the only thing you do is, well, I hope for the best, and then I think pride, like pride, and like, man, I should have done that. And then it's hard for them.
It's hard for them to because you put God in it.
Right.
You put God in it. You know, like one preacher one time told me God told them to put their ministry under our ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, well, I'll pray about it and see what God is telling me.
Right.
And I prayed, and they came back to me again in a couple, 3 months, however long it was, and asked me, did God tell me anything? And I said, no, I haven't heard anything yet, but if you say that's what God told you, I said, well, you know, we'll take it at your word.
Right.
And after maybe, I don't know, a couple years, they came back to me and say, I'm taking my ministry from under yours. I said, oh, okay. I said, did God tell you to? Because you say God told you to come under us.
Right.
So it seemed like, and I told him, I said, it seemed like the only reason that you should leave, if God is telling you, since you said it. But I mean, I just want you to see you know, do what you want to do.
Right.
But I want you to see you put God somewhere evidently where he wasn't at. So, but these are things that I'm telling you, if you put your goals down, what you're going to do. I challenge all of us, me included, well, I've already done it, to write some things down, what you're going to accomplish and where you're going to be by the end of March. That's what I've already done that, you know. But when you see that and you put it somewhere where you can see it every single day, what it does is it'll make you find the road to accomplish what you're doing. And I'm telling y'all from experience, when you start moving towards what God dropped in your heart, you'll be surprised what it started moving towards you to help you accomplish that. But if you don't, if you're just doing stuff, you just wake up every day and you just go with the flow. You're just going with whatever the day present to you. Then that's a bad way to live the rest of your life. So put down where you're going, what are your goals, what you're going to accomplish. You know, and then find you the road to get on there. And it's enough to keep you occupied. And a lot of the stuff that's bothering you, it won't be bothering you as much. Something's going to always bother us, but it won't bother us as much because you don't have time to let it play with your mind because you're so occupied and preoccupied trying to accomplish these goals that you have set out to accomplish. All right, T, we got some comments.
Yes. So we have from Sister Marcinda. She says, writing a letter is an old school way of leaving.
Yeah. That's why I said that they done it years ago.
Right. Yeah. She also come with us saying, I wish I could work. I had to do an early retirement because I had heart issues.
Health issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's definitely understandable. Yeah, we totally get that. We got anything else?
Yes, Mr. Rico was saying, I do see my highs and lows. I am working with God to raise my low points through praying, fasting, studying, and focusing and following my spiritual leaders.
Amen. Praise God. It's a good thing to acknowledge it and good remedy to come out of it. All right. So again, when we're talking about our life overall, we're also talking about the quality of our life because, you really want a quality life while you're here on earth. You want a quality life. And again, you don't want to just be going through the motion.
Right.
And so what can I do to make the quality of my life better? What can I do to overcome, to accomplish, to move forward in a manner that's going to help me get to where I want to be? I want to ask y'all this, and I will come back and deal with this. But I want to ask y'all this. How do you feel about relationships? Now, when I say relationships, how do you feel? How do you handle them? Are you good? Are you bad? What areas are you having problems in? And we'll get back to this because all of this now has something to do with the quality of your life, and it has something to do about you as an individual overall. So if you're married, how do you and your spouse, your children, friends, church members, neighbors, in-laws, outlaws. I can't keep any friends. People love to be around me. I mean, what is it? How do you feel about your relationships? How do you feel about relationships? Ask anybody. Until you can fire away if you want to. Time is moving so quick, y'all. So I don't need y'all to. I don't need you to crowd me all at the end. Now, I can keep talking about this. Right, I don't have a problem doing that. But I need to know how you feel so we'll know how to adequately help you accomplish your purpose and goals.
All right. Again, don't be afraid. We're not here to judge too anyway. We're just here to help each other out. But relationship wise, I honestly say I'm 7.5, 8 tops. That's what I like to say.
Okay.
Because I know what areas I can to do better at, and I do my best not to get stuck at those areas. Because those y'all know me, I believe in good in people. I do, and sometimes that can blind me to a fault. And so but I do believe I'm like a 7.5, 8 when it comes to like friendship relationships.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because I would like to think that all of us have some good, even though it's a real small, but I like that some may be real small, what I'm saying, but I would like to think everyone has some good in them. And sometimes we can be so busy trying to discover that good until, like you said, we become blind to a fault, and it could end up hindering us, if not hurting us. So that's good. I want to come back and comment, but I want to get some more of these comments before I start back commenting.
Stephanie come with us saying, I would rate myself a 7 overall. I have goals set for several areas in my life. I just need to put my plan into action and stop being afraid of the unknown. And I want to comment on that, Stephanie.
That is good.
I like because I think that's another thing for me too. And sometimes I do be afraid of the unknown. Like, how would they judge me? Would they accept me for what I'm saying? Would they hate? Would they laugh at me? I definitely get that stuff. I definitely understand that.
That is so good, Steph. You said something about putting her plan into action. Now I'm gonna show you something. I had this written down when you said that. I went right to it. This is steps to get things started. Tell them what one of the things that I say do there.
Work. Sorry, we're talking number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Step 5: make a action plan.
That's the whole key. That's one of the things. And I wanted T to read that. Steph, you are so spot on. See, we can have goals and things of that nature. If we don't have an action plan, all we have is a wish list. So we gotta put an action plan together. Then you gotta do something that's gonna challenge you. Now, my goals are not far-fetched, but I'm gonna need work, and more importantly, I'm gonna need God to help me. And I, as I said it earlier, and they're written down. So, but without an action plan, first of all, you got to know where to start. Where am I going to start? How can I start to make this work? Then when I do like the Bible say, think about it. You hear me talking about writing down. I know y'all heard Marcus say writing it down, and other people write it down. God himself, in Habakkuk chapter 2, I think it's verse number 3 or 4. Anyway, he says, write the vision. He's telling us, write it. And he's telling us, if we do it appropriately, he say the vision is for an appointed time. The goals is for an appointed time. And it's saying at the end, it will speak and not lie. the goals, the vision, the plan, it's going to speak itself. You ain't got to open your mouth.
Yes, sir.
It's going to speak for you if you have an action plan to go along with it. All right, what else we got here, T?
We got from Sister Marcinda. She says relationships. Friends will stick with you through thick and thin. I count on one hand of the number of friends I have. My mother always told me, "You don't have friends, but acquaintances." I guess I rate my friendship at a 6, being the only child you roll with. So you roll with or without a friend.
Okay, so I'm assuming that, and again, I don't like assumption, that you're saying it's easier for you to roll alone by you being an only child when things go south or go sour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I'm not saying you're doing this, Marcinda, but this is what some people do, and I was even guilty of this at one point. We'll make an excuse for not doing what we should be doing.
Right.
You know, like if something is going, Pastor Fonz, bless you, man of God. If something's not going the way that I want it to go, then I'll find a way to justify me not trying to fix it.
Right.
So we have to be careful that we're not doing things like that. You know, like some people, like Steph, I appreciate what she said when she said, you know, I got to put my plan together.
Mm-hmm.
I got to stop being scared of the unknown. You know, like in other words, she could have easily said, well, I ain't going forward because I don't feel nothing in that, or that won't work. No, she's saying one of the things that's holding her back is the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
And so when we know things like that, what Steph said, it's very important that we put an action plan together for that. Because at some point, you know, you want this thing to work. And then, you know, and really humans as a whole, especially saints, you know, God told us we got a right to get angry. He said, be angry, just don't sin.
Right.
And then you got to remember scriptures that tell us the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. And that word wrath, you know, that's equivalent to the word fury.
Yes, sir.
Or mad. That's uncontrolled anger. And when you have uncontrolled anger, wrath, fury, you're going to say some things and do some things that you're going to regret.
Mm-hmm.
You get flat out. And that's another thing. Live the rest of your life with as few regrets as you can. Now, we got to learn to control our emotions, because when we're emotional, common sense and logic don't exist, because we're moving and functioning on emotions. So you got to learn how to get a handle on your emotions. I mean that y'all pour them emotions down, then make a statement, then make a decision. See, I'm not like some people. I'm glad Pastor Fonz is on there. If you're still on, he think quick on his feet, so he can respond quickly, and it'll be in order. I don't always do that. Sometimes I got to be like, what they say to me, or
right,
what that mean. I got to chew it and swallow it and digest it and all of that, and then respond. By that time, they done jumped and changed the subject, you know, or you gotten out of my presence. So my point is, because some people think like me, like that, they do say something emotionally, and they always have their defense up. You can't have your defense up against everybody. You're going to miss what God is trying to do. All right, what else we got?
We got from Stephanie. She says, as far as relationships are concerned, I prefer to let God lead me to who I should be in a covenant. What was that? Covenant with?
Yeah.
Okay. Covenant with. I'm an emotional person, and in the past, it has led me to connecting to individuals who weren't really for me. Wound up getting my feelings hurt because I let my heart lead me, but didn't consult God like I should have.
All right, again, thanks for the honesty. She said she let her heart lead her. See, some people say follow your heart. No. Pastor Fonz said he got to process it. No, you don't let your heart lead you. Mm-hmm. This is what the Bible says about our heart. It says the heart is desperately wicked and deceitful above all things. It says, who can know it? Mm-hmm. So it's good that you see that, you got to work on your emotions and stop following your heart. Now think about it, y'all. And I know somebody said, yeah, you got to follow your heart. Not if you're a child of God. Yeah. God said, as many as are led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God. He just said, as many as are led by their heart are the sons of God. And see, you got to remember, sometimes our heart will lead us astray. God said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways. So, and then he went on to say, as far as the heavens is from the earth, so are my thoughts from your thoughts, and my ways from your ways. And as far as the east is from the west. So that's good. So, well, and again, I ain't saying you doing this step, but I want to throw this out here too. We have to be very careful when we say that we're, and I'm putting emphasis on this. I'm not saying you're doing this, but some people will be saying, well, I got to let the Lord lead me. Well, don't nobody want to be around you. And you don't know nobody want to be around you. And you're fearful of trying to connect. This is what some people do. They be fearful of trying to connect because in their mind, they think it may not work. Now, I have the same attitude, and I've checked myself that Steph had. I ain't just trying to make everybody my friend. Mm-hmm. I ain't trying to connect with everybody. I'm going to let God do the connecting. Now, when you say that, and I know Steph mean that, I mean that. When we're saying that, you got to make sure that you mean that, mm-hmm. and that you're not just hardened because of hurt of what people have done to you. Because people can change you. You can get hurt so many times. And then it's like, hey, man, I can make it on my own. I don't need that. I remember I used to preach years ago, early 90s. I used to preach on I can do bad all by myself. Mm-hmm. And I said, boy, I should have copyrighted that because I don't know if somebody heard it or not, but somebody wrote a book and said I can do bad all by myself. But that was from an experience that I had. Mm-hmm. And some people, they'll say that because they really just shut down because they don't want to get, and I'm not being critical about that. When you get hurt, you're going to do something about the pain. And you're going to do your utmost not to allow that same situation or anything similar. Your antennas go up. You don't want to be hurt again. But, we just want to make sure that we're being honest with all of our endeavors and thoughts. All right, what else we got, T?
Mr. Rick come with a saying, I get along well with most people. It usually the people that know my past that I have some difficulties with, and that's not very many.
Amen. And that's a good point, and that is true. People did Jesus like that. They told him, "Say, ain't you the carpenter's son? Then we see you building a house over there, building some boats and stuff." And so when it's hard for them to see the new you or what God is doing, but in that case, you just keep it moving. And I realize that I'd rather have the approval of God than the applause of man. Mm-hmm. All right, what do we got?
We got from Trinity. She says, relationships to me can either strengthen you or hurt you, depending on you and the type of people you have a relationship, romantic, friendship, family, etc. with.
Yeah, she's spot on. Mm-hmm. It can strengthen you. And see, and that's the part about being open. Mm-hmm. We really need to be open. But I used to say, you don't want your mind too open because your brain will fall out. But you wanna be open. And the thing about being open is what Trinity said. Mm-hmm. It can hurt you or help you. The bottom line is when you're open to new ideas, to meeting new people or whatever the case, you're vulnerable. Yeah. Because you're open. And so we have to be careful to make sure that we're living our life for the approval of God and not the applause of man. You got to know that people will change on you. All right. What else we got?
We also got from Sister Marcinda. She says, love with your mind, not with your heart. Lesson learned.
It's good. I like that. That's good. Thank you for that, Marcinda. Really good point. Okay, so now I've started already on really doing like a total makeover, total improvement, starting with the things that I need to improve on first, and I'm doing that. Already put things in place because I'm not going to just have another year that's coming in and I'm the same old guy doing the same old things. I'm talking about things that are not productive. You don't have to sin, but when you're doing things or when I'm doing things that are not productive, then those are habits that we need to get rid of. Did you not know our goals is when we accomplish them, it's not because of our goals. We accomplish them because of our habits. We are who we are today in life because of our habits. So we got to go into examining our habits and seeing what habits we need to change. All right, T, what do we got?
We also got from Stephanie. She says, "Yes, Bishop, that's so true. I was in a mindset for a long time. Put up walls, trying to give myself time to heal, not realizing in the process I had developed a callus that God had to help me with."
See, that's how you get free. That's how you help us. But we got to always remember this, y'all. Whenever God be using people sometimes or situations to show us stuff or show us ourselves. Now, I got to be honest. If somebody's saying something about me, I got to ask myself if it's constructive or non-constructive. I got to ask myself, is it true? That's the most important thing. Is it true?
Yeah.
If they know my situation and they don't know why I'm in it, why I'm doing it, why I'm not doing it, but is it true and where I am? And if so, then I got to make it my business to get out of this position so that person or these people can't say that about me again. Right. But again, I love what Steph is doing. She's given how she was, and she acknowledged how she was. Read that again, what Steph put down. She acknowledged how she was so she can get help and get out of it. All right, read that again.
All right. Yes, Bishop, that's so true. I was in a mindset for a long time. Put up walls, trying to give myself time to heal, not realizing in the process I had developed a callus that God had to help me with.
And again, she said not realizing that she had developed the callus. A lot of things we do, we're unconscious of that we're doing that. And it can become habitual, be it good or bad, or if it's bad, well, we can build up a callous heart and not conscious that we've done it. It's just like, you ain't hurting me no more. Right. Not only you're not hurting me no more, ain't nobody hurting me no more. And so, you build up a callousness about you that we got to learn how to overcome. And then we got to, just like we got to learn how to accept the truth about negative stuff, you got to learn how to accept the comment. Did you not know some people can't accept comments? They don't know how to do it. I know people that haven't nothing recently, but a man could comment on a woman. He liked me. No, why can't why can't he just be complimenting you, or vice versa? Why can't she just be complimenting you?
Or take any type of criticism?
Right. Very.
Like, I mean, so like constructive criticism. And they think like, oh, we just talking about me.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not constructive because it's coming from a source that that want to be discredit you. Right. But at the same time, if it's the truth, you got to acknowledge it and go on about your business. You don't have to get into a shouting match, so to speak, about that. All right, I see more comments are coming in. What do we got?
We got from Sister Kidda. She says, I rate myself an 8 regarding friendship and relationships. I try to treat people the way I want to be treated.
That's the Bible.
My downfall is I too most of the times leave with my heart, and it gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
I end up getting hurt. Then I put my guard up.
Wow.
So it became hard for me to trust people again, especially after I've allowed myself to be and get hurt.
Wow. I love the honesty, and I love the attention. See, that's what's really so good about saints, when you can take inventory on yourself. Then sometimes it's hard to change, man.
Yeah.
When you've been hurt, I'm telling you, when I got hurt, I was before God almost 2 years. You know, and every time I thought I was over it, bam, it would happen, or people would happen, and the hurt would come all out again. Yep. I mean, I wouldn't respond. I don't think I did. But you know, it was like, man, this thing ain't going nowhere. And we got to pray to God, take it away. And then we got to be conscious of it. Thank you for that, Kiki. That's spot on. And the honesty of it. But see, and she's at an 8. And you can tell she's on her way to a 10, because she's acknowledged the areas or the things that is stopping her from becoming a 10. And that's what we want to do. We want to become a 10. You know, that don't mean that we're going to be perfect.
Right.
You know, but we can be excellent in the things that God has called us to do. And that's very important and very good. And thank you for that, daughter. All right, what do we got, T?
Marcella commented on Stephanie's comment, saying, "That's good, Stephanie. Never thought it becoming a callous."
Wow, yeah. And see what she said? I never thought it becoming a callous. And that's what happened. You know, you unconsciously do it, because at this point, I got to protect myself.
Yeah.
And I can't let anyone else into my heart, because you're ripping it out.
Right.
And I like what Marcinda said, love with your head.
Right.
And not your heart, you know. Because again, you know, we you know, like Peter, and we all know the story of Peter, when Jesus said, everybody gonna leave me. Peter said, not me. And Peter wasn't just talking trash. He really thought that he wasn't gonna leave Jesus, or Jesus told him. He said, before the cock crow, you're gonna deny me 3 times. You know, Peter's like, not me, maybe Judas, Thomas, some of these other fellas. And then we know the story. He denied him 3 times, and then the cock crew. That rooster crowing didn't mean nothing to nobody but Peter. The people that he's supposed to wake up, they probably didn't even wake up, because it meant a lot to Peter. That was for Peter. And so, but my point is, in his heart, he didn't believe that he was going to do that. So sometimes, you know, that's why the Bible again says, the heart is desperately wicked, deceitful above all things. Who can know it? We don't even know what's in our heart many times. So we want to make sure that we finish this year strong, y'all. Again, these some things we want to make sure. I'm going to give you these, and I'm going to go as slow. I'm going to maybe even have T to write them, to post them to where you can see them. This is what we want to do. We want to prayerfully plan effectively. We want to become this 10. And I know all of y'all on here can become a 10. The way that we become a 10, we can remember the 6P acronym that, you know, I've been talking about off and on for years. I haven't been saying nothing about it lately. But proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Prior, advance, proper, the right way. Performance, your actions, prevents, it stops poor or inadequate, inadequacy. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. So you want to do everything the way that it's supposed to be done. So here we go. These are some things that we got to do. Number one, you got to ask yourself, where do I start at? What do I start on? And you know, at some point we all started something and we stopped it. But our goal should be what we really want. You got to ask yourself, what do I really want? And from a Christian standpoint, you should say, I want to be saved. I want to be honest. You know, I want to be in a place where God can use me anywhere, anytime. These are some things that got to be very important to you. And then you know, you have to ask yourself these things. And then you got to say, and I want to live I want to live the best life that I can live. God, show me how to do that. And then remember, God said it's him that give you power to get wealth. So God, I need you to show me. I'm telling y'all, if we concentrate on what we want, and you really got to ask yourself, what do I want? And you do your part for what you want. We'll get into that deeper at a later time. Then he says, then you got to write the vision. You got to write it down. Remember Habakkuk 2, I think it's 3 or 5, somewhere in there. He says, write the vision. And I'm sorry, 1. He said, write the vision, make it plain, make it so you can understand it. That he that runneth may read it. And so, because you're going to be moving. And so you're going to have to write it to where you can read it. That just simply means put it somewhere where you can see it all the time. Yes, something that you're going to look at every single day, yes, to remind you to get on the right road. And when you get on the right road, to stay on the right road. And we'll talk more about that lately too. Number 3, you're going to have self-motivation. You know, the Bible talks about how David encouraged himself in the Lord. And one of your self-motivations, also, remember, now, man, my time is going, but I got 2 minutes because we started a little late. But if you remember, one of your self-motivation, this is very important. You got to have a cause. You got to have a why. You got to have a reason for it. It got to be something that'll keep you motivated when ain't nobody else around. And if you remember in David's case, when he went down to fight Goliath, and after his eldest brother Eliab checked him, if you remember David's response, it was, is there not a cause? That word cause means a reason for it. Like he was saying, I'm down here for a reason. I got a why. So you got to, you want a greater anointing. You want a greater prayer life. You want more money. You want a better relationship. You want a better mindset, better heart. Whatever it is, get your why and find it. Then, again, you want number 7, you want to post your plan. You want to post it. Put it where you can see it. Number 8, you want to be able to, you got to speak it out. Put it in the atmosphere. Tell somebody that you know will hold you accountable. And what I mean by that, every so often, how you coming on your goal? How you coming on your plan? Like in other words, they'll hold you accountable to what you were doing. So that's very key. Then number 9, I'm gonna give y'all some good stuff about this. You want to be able to monitor your progress. How am I coming along? And you'll get able to see that. And then number 10 is all about enjoying the reward of it. Yes, we'll get into all of that. We'll get a chance to get into all of that. Hey, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please remember, Wednesday, there will be no Bible class. We're going to let everybody enjoy family, friends, and more importantly, enjoy Jesus' birthday. And we'll be right back at it the next day on Thursday. But again, Wednesday, there will be no prayer. No Bible class. Now, we might post for that hour. We may post a previous service. And in case somebody tune in, they can see that. And then we'll be right back at it on Thursday. So please govern yourselves accordingly, get the word around. And then we're going to look forward to seeing everybody on Sunday. And please enjoy yourself. Have a great Merry Christmas, keeping Christ in your Christmas, and know that you're going to have a great time. All right. Well, I love you. Appreciate you. Then also remember, Bethel and our friends, you can dive into this if you so choose. Remember, the first Sunday of January is our the seed sowing Sunday, and first fruit Sunday. God told us in the book of Proverbs, bring the first fruit, the substance of all of thy increase, into the storehouse. Now you got to do this for you. It's going to help you start the year off right, and we'll be giving you more instructions about that in upcoming services. So I told you I'm giving my whole check. I'm giving half of it to the Ipsy Church, half of it to the Detroit Church, and the deacons will confirm that. So govern yourselves accordingly. Do it however the Lord tell you. But I know that it's going to be a tremendous blessing to you. Remember, bust out of this box that you've been in, this contemporary walking by living by your means. Bust out of that box. Remember, A to Z, the scale of A to Z, that means you're using logic and common sense. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you want to get off that scale, you got to remember the just shall live by faith. You got to do something by faith. And I'm telling you, things going to pop open for you. Love you so much. Again, thank you for tuning in. Been fun, but I got to run on the behalf of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, my lovely wife, Lady Brenda, the entire ministerial family. Until next time, remember to go with God, and God will go with you. God bless you.
God bless you, and thank you so much for tuning in. We sincerely hope and pray that you enjoyed the Word of God. God has truly blessed Bethel Deliverance Tabernacle International to have awesome leaders in the persons of Dr. Milton C. Woods and Pastor Brenda F. Woods. Leaders who are truly concerned about you. Be sure to stay connected with us via our social media platforms listed for another awesome time in the Word. I know your hearts will be blessed. Until next time, on behalf of Dr. Milton C. Woods and Pastor Brenda F. Woods and the entire BDTI family, go with God, and God will go with you. God bless you.